games for you on Thursday and Friday. But before we do, I just want to let you know, as we know, March Madness, we get so much hope, so much excitement in regard to, our brackets and filling out our brackets and playing in those pools. But unfortunately, sometimes, you kind of, the writing's on the wall, that you don't really have a chance, but you still want some action. You still want to have some fun. Elias has a solution. It's the Elias Game Plan Challenge March Madness Edition. Listen up, guys. The Elias Sports Bureau has put its own unique spin on March Madness. So what they've done, they put together a wide range of questions about the men's and women's tournament for players at all knowledge levels. And they provided the Elias insights to help you make your decisions. So you don't have to be an Elias expert like Rob, Frank, and Kevin to play this. The best part is that you can play with your friends and family. So how do you do it? Simply go to www.challenge.eliasgameplan.com. You name your group, share your unique link with your friends, family, coworkers, make your picks, follow along throughout the tournament, or live updates to see how you and your teammates can perform. So they put this together with a list of questions, both simple and challenging, covering different aspects of the men's and women's NCAA tournament. And anyone can play. Elias had a Super Bowl challenge as well, and the response was phenomenal. So don't miss out on the fun. And this time around, that's for sure. Again, you want to go to www.challenge.eliasgameplan.com to play. All right, gentlemen, let's narrow our focus specifically to what is happening on Thursday. Tip off, the big dance. It starts at 12:15 p.m. Eastern time. The first game we're going to break down tips off at 12:40 p.m. and that's South Dakota State going up against Providence. Providence is favored by 2. The over-under here is 148.5. Frank, why don't you start us off? Break down this game. What nuggets do you have with a potential upset brewing for South Dakota State?
Well, I hate to do it. I'm a Big East guy, but what are you going to do? I mean, they've disappointed me so much. They've ruined so many brackets of mine. They've really, really, really ruined so many brackets. So I'm going to say South Dakota State. They've won 21 straight games. That's first off. Doug Wilson's been hot, and their point guards have got 30 points per game. I mean, they got a nice, well-balanced offense, and Providence has been struggling. They didn't look good in the Big East tournament, and their wins have been, the last couple of their wins were OT against DePaul, Butler, Xavier. They're just not playing well.
Rob, any thoughts on this matchup?
Right, I agree. South Dakota State, it's the best three-point shooting team in the country by far, at almost 45%. When I think Colgate's the only other team that at even 40%. I mean, that's a significant gap between 1 and 2 out of 400 teams. That's going to be tough. They score a ton. Their overall shooting is second, I think, only behind Gonzaga. I see Providence having a ton of problems holding them to even sub 80, which they'll need to do to score to win that game.
Another possible upset, and this is Thursday. Tip-off is at 9:20 p.m. Eastern time, and that's Vermont going up against Arkansas. Arkansas is favored by 5. The over-under is at 139. Frank, tell us the secrets. Tell us the Vermont secret sauce here.
I don't know. Maybe because they ski a lot. Who knows? Something with that probably. But I mean, Vermont coasted in the American East tournament. They won an average of 36.7 points per game. I mean, crazy. That's the largest in any conference tournament since 1947 Kentucky. I mean, it's unbelievable. They don't have a good track record in the tournament, but this feels different. The top players are all seniors, and it's just in the last 10 years, only 4 teams seeded 13 or more with dogs of 5 or less, and 3 of them covered. So there's a little tidbit for you bettors out there, and also 13 seeds are 9-3 against the spread in the last 3 tournaments. So just a little throw-in for everybody there, in case you want to spend some money.
Rob?
Right. That over-under seems a little high, given that Vermont only allows 60 points a game. So if you're telling me it's going to be 80 to 60, whatever, that seems a bit much. And they shoot. They're a great shooting team. They almost shoot 50%. They're top 5 in the country shooting. And something like going along with what Frank said, we looked at the makeup of 12-5 and 13-4 upsets over the last 4 years, 2016 to 19. There's been 10 of them. All 10 were conference winners, and the average record of those teams is 27-6. Vermont's 28-5. Conference winner.
Wow.
And same with South Dakota State, 30-4. They fit the profile of the teams that win these games.
All right. Game number 3 on Thursday with a potential upset. And this has me a little sad because I have loved Murray State all season. I love watching them play. I feel they're just a complete team. I love watching them play. They're favored by 1.5 against San Francisco. Over-unders at 136.5. Tip-off as well as is late on Thursday night at 9:40 p.m. Frank, don't tell me so. Don't tell me you think Murray State's going down, please. I love this team so much.
I think, I know there were 7. I think they got screwed in this case. I think they probably would have been better off being a little later, maybe.
Yep.
There's something about San Francisco. I don't know. Again, West Coast. I don't know what I'm doing on the West Coast, but there's something about West Coast that's just calling my name. So, San Francisco. They played St. Mary's tough. I think that conference is a lot better this year. I think so I think teams coming out of there are going to do a better job. Their senior guards can score, and I look at Murray's profile. I mean, they really only had one good one. They beat Memphis by 2. I think they're overseeded, but I look for San Francisco. I don't even really consider this an upset, right? These teams are very even. I don't think, I think it's more of a toss-up than even the spread shows. So that's where I feel with that.
Right. I think that the spread shows 2 things. I think it shows that there's a reason Gonzaga's number 1. That conference is just better. And that 30-2 might not be, that's like you said, one decent win. And is that really even a decent win? It's
right. Yeah.
Right. So,
and they barely won, right? It's not even
right. So
I agree.
They're still fun to watch. All right, let's focus on the games.
So you get to watch them once, Anita, but hey, it is what it is, right?
And I've won quite a bit of money off of them this season. All right,
so there you go.
I mean, they typically blow out their opponents in their conference. Friday, 12:15 p.m. Eastern time, you've got Loyola going up against Ohio State University. Loyola is favored by 1. The over/under is 132.5. Frank, kick this one off for us.
Well, this one I'm going a little different route, right? I think it's Sister Jean that is calling my name for Loyola. I need all the help I could get with the big guy upstairs. And if this gets me 1 inch closer to the pearly white gates, I'm going to have to take it. So, no other reason except for that.
Right. In the same vein, my connection to Loyola is not Sister Jean, but it's AD Steve Watson, who was the AD at St. Bonaventure and hired Mark Schmidt. And we also played basketball against each other in high school, and his girls went to my high school. So it's a local thing. So I've been following his career. So you can't help not root for Loyola. It's very similar to a St. Bonaventure style school. Cannot help root for them to win games.
So sorry to disappoint. Nothing exciting except
not in that one. It's all personal on that one.
All personal on that one.
All right, 6:50 p.m. on Friday. You got Chattanooga going up against Illinois. Illinois is favored by 7.5. The over-end is at 135.5. Frank, do you smell an upset here?
I do. I mean, I think it's less about Chattanooga and more about Illinois. I don't think they played well lately. They rely heavily on Cockburn, and if he has a bad game or he's in foul trouble, I mean, it's over for them, I think. So I think that's a really tough. They haven't played. They're 5-4 in their last 9. Their wins were all close. And also Karma, Chattanooga's last tournament win, Illinois. I mean, granted, it was 1997, but
right.
It's still, and that was a 14-6 game, so they're even a little closer this time.
And then last but not, I'm sorry, Rob. Did you want to comment on that?
Frank covered it. That's like it's amazing that their last win was Illinois.
That is
so. Yeah. That's.
Karma.
I think the committee knows this stuff going in. So.
9:20 p.m. on Friday night. Hopefully you don't have a big date. You're home watching the tournament. You got UAB going up against Houston. Houston is favored by 8.5. The over-under is at 135. Frank, kick us off. Why do you think there could be an upset here?
Well, unfortunately, I won't get to see this game because I go to bed at 9:20. So that's the first thing. I'm gonna have to read about it the next day.
On Friday?
Why is Friday? Why probably more so on Friday because the kids are home all weekend. They got I got entertained for a weekend. Not easy. But I like UAB. I mean, Houston I think is a good team, but I just there's something there. UAB's got a very good offense. Houston's never, Houston has a good defense, but they haven't faced a team with this kind of offense. I mean, it's. I think they're going to be a little surprised by it, and by the time they adjust, it's going to be over.
Right. Houston's got one quad one win?
One win.
If even one.
Yeah.
UAB is scoring 81 points a game, 6th in the country. They're 6th in turnover margin, as in they make the other team turn the ball over almost 5 more times a game than they do. I think that leads to a lot of problems for Houston.
Just out of curiosity, when you're filling out your brackets, I know we're talking about the lines here, but when you're filling out your brackets, are you picking UAB over Houston? Are you picking Chattanooga over Illinois straight up? Are you picking Vermont to beat Arkansas? Are you picking South Dakota State to beat Providence? Like, are you picking them on your bracket?
I took South Dakota State, UAB, Vermont, and New Mexico State as the.
To me, the first round in brackets to me is meaningless because, any upset you pick, you're only getting 1 point anyway. So I don't really harp too much on that first round.
Most of the time, the teams that make those first round upsets don't win a Sweet 16 game. They might win a second round game, but they're never winning that third game.
Right. I think more harm can be done than good, right? In the past, I've always done well in that first round, but then it's just downhill. I mean, it's like downhill from there.
But guys, we're all searching for that perfect bracket.
No, that's
never going to happen.
No way. Perfect bracket. Anita, I want to still be in the bracket after the first weekend. That's all I care about. If I do that, I've considered myself a winner. That's all.
What are the odds are you have a better chance of getting struck by lightning than filling out a perfect NCAA bracket?
Twice. I think it's twice being struck by lightning or something like that.
So my thing is why try, right? It's impossible.
Gentlemen, thank you so much. Great information, great stuff. Rob, Kevin, Frank, really do appreciate you guys. Again, this is the Elias Game Plan podcast. We're going to be coming your way each and every week with a variety of podcasts. We're going to be talking about March Madness, obviously, throughout the tournament. Whenever there's breaking NFL news, we'll have NFL nuggets and information for you. We're definitely going to dive into some golf. Randy Robles is somebody you haven't met yet, so we'll have a lot of golf videos for you as well. We're really excited about this. And again, just a reminder, if you are getting ready for March Madness, and unfortunately, maybe as Frank said, you picked the wrong guys, the wrong teams, make sure you check out the challenge.eliasgameplan.com just to keep your interest in of course the tournament.
And I want a shot at Brady next time.
Okay. Everybody wants a shot at Brady, Frank. Everybody wants a shot at Brady. Anyway, everybody, hopefully you enjoyed the video and in the podcast and giving you all the great Elias nuggets to help you pick your bracket and hopefully as well win some money.